Hello World Doll Day friends, this is Michael Canadas with the Grovian Doll Museum and Carmel Doll Shop. Welcome to Upstairs Downstairs. However, I will just have to warn you that the little characters we're about to have a look at shouldn't be allowed upstairs or downstairs. They should be definitely kept outside and probably really locked up. So I'm talking about Max and Moritz. It's interesting to me that after all these years that they're still finding a new audience. In actuality, they are the oldest comic book characters in circulation. It's a story by a monk by the name of Wilhelm Busch, and it's a moral tale, slightly tongue-in-cheek, all in rhyme, about these two little naughty boys named Max and Moritz. He wrote his book, which had the first cartoon characters. Think Disney before there was even, Disney's grandfather wasn't even born. Well, that he may have been born. So these are very, very early pieces, and they have found a new audience, not just with doll collectors in America, but they've also found a new audience as spokespersons for product sales. In Germany, if you go into the supermarket, you can buy Max and Moritz chocolate milk, Max and Moritz yogurt, Max and Moritz cheese, and I would imagine it makes you very naughty if you have it. So with this popularity of the books, of course, next thing comes merchandising. And Max and Moritz dolls are available from virtually every German manufacturer that you can think of. Now, what makes them rare, they were produced, but it's the stories which I think had a lot to do with the fact that there aren't very many left, such as being ground up into meal to feed a chicken, explosives. They were really, really naughty. So let's have a look at some of the survivors. And this is part of our collection. It's not all of our collection of these little characters. And I think that if I'm going to do it in order of importance, number one would be the Cameron Reinhardt characters, which are these two here. And to me, they are the ones that really have the spirit of Max and Moritz. And remember, it's Moritz, not Moritz. Moritz, Moritz, Moritz. Cameron Reinhardt made this in, I believe, two sizes. Both of them have molded shoes, which I'm going to move this so you can see. Molded shoes. Moritz's would be brown, and Max are black. And I believe that this pair have been selling product for a long time because in their heels there's a place like for a number one Barbie so that they could go on a stand. So they were probably selling all kinds of products in the last century. Now these were made in about 1913 on. So considering that the book was written in 1864, they are a late pair of Max and Moritz dolls. But like with all publishing, it goes in cycles. You know, Eloise came out in the 50s, then it went away, and then it came back in the 80s, and then it came back in the 2000s. I'm sure that this happened with the Wilhelm Busch books. Now, it is literally, here's one iteration, here's another. They're translated into just about every language you can think of, but the German-speaking, that's where you have the really beautiful flowing rhymes of the story. Now, I mentioned selling product, so we have Max and Moritz chocolate bars, Max and Moritz Easter eggs, the Max and Moritz full heads. And we actually had some of these made. And but I found that at about 3 o'clock, when I was getting peckish, I was starting to eat all the product, so we stopped that. Then, not that long ago, the American company of R. John Wright in Vermont created their version of Max and Moritz, and really outstanding clothes, beautifully crafted pieces of exceptional quality. And then if we're going to go down to playability, these are collector dolls, but playability, you have the Steiff company did their version of the Max and Moritz, and they did theirs in rubber, which was very clever of them to do that, because most likely these would be given to boys, and they could take them out and not have to worry about if they decided to reenact some of the pranks that the boys did. And then Steiff did another version of these little, I like to call them kind of Gumbies. And we have a Gumby Max, but we're short of Moritz. And I will tell you, early on when we were collecting these, I only wanted them as pairs because they are one unit. But then I realized that I would be missing out if I didn't take one at a time and try to match them back up again. And you can see that we have this going here with a couple of Kessner Albus Moritz, and then a Kessner jointed body Moritz. And don't ask me why. It seems that there are more Moritzes looking for Maxes than the other way around. Now, this was a phenomenon globally, the whole concept of Max and Moritz. And the Schoenhut Company, the famous American toy manufacturer, they did Max and Moritz. And ultimately, with World War I, they changed the identity of Max and Moritz, and they became another character so that they wouldn't have to deal with the anti-German sentiment. Because the fact of the matter is, Max and Moritz are very, very German and identified with such. Now, I want to show you German precision. These are the smallest dolls that we have in our collection that I consider really like high quality. And these are most likely what we would call Vienna bronzes, little tiny bronze pieces that are then coal painted. But under a microscope, you can really see the wonderful detail. This is a piece that I think is very interesting. It is a mold piece for a sculpture. So imagine that people decorated their homes with Max and Moritz artifacts. They were such a cultural phenomenon. And these, I think, again, as decorative arts, we have bottle stoppers. Who would think that anyone would want to buy these little characters as bottle stoppers? But we have two different versions. And these were both given to us by really lovely friends, and we thank them for that. And speaking of gifts, this just recently came to us, and I think this is hysterical that someone sat out and knitted a Max and Moritz pillow. So, you couldn't have nightmares over that. And again, we have napkins that we purchased these in some strange place, these just like cloth napkins or paper napkins of Max and Moritz, and they're beautiful. And I tried to find the manufacturer to get more, but I couldn't do that. So you could have your Max and Moritz tea party with your napkins, and then you have your Max and Moritz tea. But I'd be kind of careful drinking that. And then there are some things in this collection that I think are really poignant and thought-provoking, such as this calendar where time stopped August 24th. This would be Wednesday, Mittwoch. And I think somewhere here it had the date. I think it was 1943. So, you have to wonder why time stopped on that date. And then one of the rarest pieces we have, believe it or not, is not these valuable dolls, and they're all very rare. One of the most unusual pieces is this sand pail set. So knowing a little bit about the German culture, this is actually a New Year's gift, because you have all of the things that will bring you luck in the horseshoe, the shamrock, or the clover, I guess it's not a shamrock, and the pig and the mushrooms. So all of these things will bring you good luck in the new year. On that note, I would like to say to everyone, I hope that the joyful spirit of Max and Moritz, who really all are about play and fun. Unfortunately, sometimes other people are pay the price for their fun, but they are about fun, creativity, imagination, and sometimes it's just fun to be naughty. So, on that note, friends, bye-bye.
Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button.